You know, how we got here, I was forced to sit in long court hearings, federal court, with no control over my fate or the fate of my wife or anybody else in my family, and most of that time chained and shackled and treated like an animal. That's when I figured out that the court process needed to be stopped. And people tell me that I'm crazy when I tell them that everybody's stuff is the same. Everybody's stuff is the same. And in keeping things simple, the differences is the strategy tweaks for like criminal foreclosure, debt collection, those kind of things. And basically those strategy tweaks are based off of the severity or amount of time or whatever. Okay, but everybody's stuff is the same. And this is the reason why I don't have to hear everybody's big old long story about all of these things. It's the same because everybody's due process is being violated by the state's administrative court process and procedures. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. So you're being violated at the gate. The judge has a conflict of interest as she is paid by the government violating you. I'm pretty sure that spells conflict of interest. The judge is getting money from all of that stuff. Okay, I'm not sure about the money, YouTube, but I am sure about the pension. If the judge wants to come and argue about the money, the first document that I think I would be filing is a $200 million counterclaim. I would first add the parties to their own action and file that counterclaim right in their stuff without filing fees, without having to, they can't litigate a case they're party to. And if you want to be crappy about it, you can add the State Bar Association to it, and now nobody from the bar can represent them. Then probably what I would do after you get done crushing the state process is cloud the title. Cloud the title with judicial notice of fraudulent conveyance and judicial notice of lis pendens, styled like a document to file in your case. And you can do this yourself and just file it in the case. And then I would take the regular notice of fraudulent conveyance and the regular notice of lis pendens down and place them on the public record next to the deed to let everybody know that the property is clouded and there's litigation pending. And then I would serve a copy of those documents to the parties that's trying to steal your stuff. So we stop the state court process and then file the claim in federal court. That's how we do that. And generally we use the federal court filing to control everything. But this RICO situation that we got going on right now is doing a real good job of forcing them to play hot potato or enforcing the judge to recuse, step aside, and get on out the way. At the end of the day, all those documents, really, you would be using we used to use in federal court to have fun with. But if you go to the door of the federal court demanding that they order their ass to the settlement table, like we have written over here because we ain't going to no trial, to the settlement conference, okay, now, if the judge denies you, I'm pretty sure the judge is not going to provide a finding, the facts, and the conclusions of law. So that's just a rundown in a nutshell real quick. Stop the state court process, get your lawsuit filed in federal court, add a statement of constitutional emergency to your lawsuit so it gets moved up on and then order to have the judge order them to settlement table because if you're coming out of state court, they ain't going to be able to respond. So get over to winningcourtnow.com and take a look at your options right now to take charge of this situation.